You're tuned to Russ McClellan and Friends on the real estate show Home Sweet Home. Let's get back to Russ.
Hey, welcome back to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends. And I'm very blessed and very lucky to have two friends today, which is always exciting that I still have two friends in the world. Diana Peters was awesome to talk to. And now I have Courtney Clites on the phone calling in from the big city of L-Town, Leavenworth. How you doing, Courtney?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Now, you joined our firm, and you've been very, very busy. You've had some big transactions going, but you joined right before the land of COVID started in March, right?
I did.
Now, if somebody was out there, Courtney, thinking about getting into real estate, what would you say to them is the difference between Keller Williams and most other firms?
Well, when I came from RE/MAX, I was with RE/MAX before, and RE/MAX didn't offer a lot of growth as far as self-improvement, classes to better yourself, that kind of stuff. So I'm actually really impressed with Keller Williams and all the opportunities they have. They have so many different things that are available to new agents, to seasoned agents. It's just really impressed me.
Yeah, that's, one of the things. I've been in real estate 32 years, and about 30 of that I owned a small boutique firms in my hometown of Chelan. And when I started learning about all the things I didn't know by people a heck of a lot smarter than me, it was kind of exciting. And when you're in a company that's the largest on the planet, we implement in leadership a program called R&D, which to most people innately stands for research and development. But in Keller Williams culture, it stands for rip off and duplicate. Because we're a learning-based company. In fact, Gary Keller, years ago in 1983, said, we're basically an education and training company that happens to sell real estate. And you're right. I mean, it really doesn't matter what level you want to go to. I think it's quite fascinating that if you're open-minded, you can do this business in a number of different ways, and you can learn anything that you want to learn, right? Especially now in the land of COVID, in the digital age, we are essentially transitioned to a technology company now that happens to sell real estate. So how do you feel about, since March, I mean, you have a family, you're a busy mom, you have a husband, you're running and gunning. How do you feel real estate fits into that? So if you were talking to other people that wanted to expand their career, but maybe they were, single moms, or maybe they were working a full-time job, what are some of the things that you would share with them if they were inspired, but they're afraid?
Well, I think as a mom, first and foremost, you're always worried about being able to be there for your kids, especially with distance learning. And I've been able to work from home as well as handle everything with the school, and it's been great. And Keller Williams, especially our team, has been so instrumental in me doing that. You guys are always available. I can always reach somebody right away. It took all the fear out of it. I was a little weary when COVID did happen. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to be able to do this? But it's been flawless. I haven't had any issue with it. And I strongly encourage anybody that's thinking about real estate to just try it. I mean, if you don't try, you'll never know.
Right. The great one, Wayne Gretzky, said, he was the Hall of Fame hockey player. He said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you, my kids are 28 and 23 and grown up, but you have kids that are in school. What are some of those challenges that's a 180-degree difference with COVID and trying to learn from home? I bet that's very challenging.
It can be really challenging, but it's so good at the same time. It's really, I look at it like a blessing to have my kids home with me. We have our moments. Things are tough. There's days I lose it a little bit with them, but overall, I want them to know that they matter and I'm happy they're here, and it's all for the best, all for their best interest. We just kind of go with it.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes is the difference between An adventure and an ordeal is simply attitude.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about how you look at it.
Yeah, well, mindset's a very important component. Are you involved in the coaching with Fletcher Ellingson right now?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
I didn't want to quite take that on
right
at this time. Like, it's also knowing my limits. Like, that's a really big thing, because I am one of those realtors that wants to do all of it,
right,
all the time. So it's about balance for me right now. Same with my clients. Like, I give my clients everything. I genuinely care about each person I work with, and I want to make sure I have the time for each person.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point. I mean, I've seen a lot of people in 3 decades of being in this business burn out, right? It can become a very high burnout game, because it does kind of, if you're not guarded or at least aware of your time, you can easily end up working 20 hours a day. And that's obviously not healthy for your own health, but it's not healthy for your relationships or your children. And I think you touched on a very important component, that knowing your limits isn't a bad thing. And then B, as you communicate what your desires are, we can help you as a leadership team. And I appreciate what you said, because I really do. We meet every morning, a couple calls with my leadership team every day, and we often talk about what is it that our brokers need. And the funny thing about that is it's different for every one of them. So the communication is important, that we can help supplement whatever you need. And then your realization that, hey, these are my priorities, and you communicate that with your team. So would you say that's fair? And would you say to people that are thinking about it, like, wow, they're going to ask that I do floor time every day, or they're going to ask that I do open houses every Saturday, and I got kids' soccer games. And so would you be able to honestly tell people that are afraid for those hypotheticals that that's not what's going to happen?
I 100% agree with you there. It's not that way at all. It's what works for you, and you guys have been so supportive. Just everyone has been so supportive. It has really given me peace of mind with this whole thing. And I would encourage anybody that is just thinking about it, like, if they want to, they could even reach out to me personally, like over the phone or over email. And I'd be happy to just calm any kind of fear anybody might have about it.
Well, while we're talking about it, let me kick your number out there. If you want to get a hold of Courtney on her cell phone, it's 206-579-9458. I'll say it again, so get that pin. Courtney's amazing. 206-579-9458. Or you can email Courtney at Courtney Clites, CLITES @kw.com. And I can assure you that this is true, because you developed a relationship with Trish Graham, that is now a full-time employee with Keller Williams, and you introduced her to our firm, and we snatched her from another company, and she's helping us tremendously. So I owe you a very big debt of gratitude, because she probably saved my life.
Isn't Trish amazing?
She's great.
Trish is an amazing person, and believe it or not, I met her over the phone.
Yeah, that's the cool part, because you're not just blowing smoke here. You actually had a relationship with someone that just called you, and then you communicated, never met. You hooked her up with me. I and my leadership team had a few interviews with her, and we were like blown away. So now she's on our leadership team, just like that.
Right. I know, and she's one of my dear friends now. It's pretty amazing how that happened.
Yeah, it is incredible how many cool people there are, and in a time where it's really easy to be polarized, or really easy to allow ideology politically, or the negativity of judgment on social media to kind of infiltrate your life. One of the cool things about Keller Williams is we try to kind of just stay positive, right? We're not really about talking negatively about other people. We're really about talking positively about what we can do for our clients. And I think that spirit is benefited from all the great people that, as we push almost 70 real estate brokers in North Central Washington, we have people in just about every town in North Central Washington now, all the way to Canada. So it's kind of fun, isn't it? I mean, it's just, you get to meet a lot of cool people.
It is. And I think that the culture that you guys have really grown with Keller Williams North Central Washington is pretty amazing. It's not like a competitive culture like you would think. It's really more of like a family. Like we're all going to lift each other up and help each other grow. And it's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to struggle, because I know, like, if I'm struggling with something, I can reach out to you or to Kelly or to one of the other Keller Williams family members, and we have each other's backs, and that's really cool.
Yeah, it is a competitive business, but
it is a competitive business, you're right, but not a competitive brokerage.
Right. To have an abundant mindset is simply, to me, means for me to win, it means you don't have to lose. There's enough business for everyone, versus that scarcity mindset out there, which is still alive and well, that for me to win, you do have to lose. And we just don't operate on that frequency. So, well, I appreciate you calling in, taking the time with your busy schedule of selling lots of real estate and raising lots of kids and all the good stuff that you're doing. I feel blessed to have you in our circle of trust, as they say, and be in our family. So thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, we'll be right back with our fourth segment with Prime Lending when we come back. Thanks for tuning in to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends.
Keller Williams